Hello my friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how I would make a Christmas themed wreath using a lid on a protein powder container, and just some beautiful colors that I have access to. So let's get started. Today what I'm going to do first is, you could see I did my little drawing of the circle. I'm just going to erase it. Well, erase it enough that I can see it, but it doesn't pop through any of my watercolors. Now, I should tell you up front, I'm actually a big fan of using pencil under watercolors, especially with detailed illustrative work, but I don't like to use it a ton in my loose work. So when I'm loosely painting for fun, but want some sort of order or organization, I generally tend to stay away from pencil. But in the case of this, we're gonna jump right in there and pencil it up so that I can have a circle and know that I'm not making something wobbly or too crazy. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to create a bluish white clear color. Let me see. And it's not because I want blue per se, it's because it makes a great white. So I'm adding some blue and brown. Let's see. I want more blue. Let's see if I can add this, if this makes a difference. Sometimes adding some blues and oranges together make a good gray, or even a light brown. So, all right, let's make this happen. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with a reddish kind of color. I have in my watercolor palette from Way, this is called Mars Violet. And I think I'm gonna start there. It's more purple than red, but I'm okay with that. So I think I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna water this down a little bit, a poinsettia style flower. So I'm gonna do the, I think it's 5. Is it 5 or is it 6? It might be 6. 6 general petals. I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna do it again, maybe a little bit smaller. Notice this is not super red. It's not like bright red. It's more of like a dark vintagey kind of red. Because like I said, it's got more of a purple vibe to it, right? So just a heads up on that. All right, this is not super wet, so I think I'm just gonna go right over it here. You can see, trying to leave that center not too filled in, partially because I want to add my little yellow middles there in a minute. Okay, that's not too bad. And then around it, I'm just gonna start pulling in some leaves. Now, the green that I'm gonna use right now is a darker green. I generally tend to work on the sap green spectrum. Not because I'm anti other greens, but it's just the kind that works best for me, I think. So I'm gonna do this. I'm using a dagger. And I have some, because I've got that pointy end, I can give the pointy end vibe to this leaf. I'm gonna fill that in a little bit. And then I am gonna pull this up a little bit. I'm gonna do that again, over here. See, it comes out so smooth, and I just really don't want smooth on this guy. I want it to be a little more pointy. So, pull that in. That might actually be a better way to do it, just like that. So, all right, like that. And then we'll definitely do one on this side too. So pulling this down. This needs to be a little bit taller. And then I want to reshape that a little. pretty good. Not perfect, but good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep, I guess I'm thinking is that if I keep this primarily leaves with an occasional little poinsettia, maybe I do a big set of poinsettias over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how light that is. And then I'll come back to that in a second. I'm gonna put another one here. 1, 2, a little smaller. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then another one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. I'll come back into those later. I'm gonna go back to my greens. The green I'm using right now is Tundra Forest by Way. Let's do this. We'll have it coming this way. Trying to follow the curve a little bit. And then maybe another one here, but a smaller one. And then another one here. My circle is going this way. So what I might do is I might pop it that way. And then have another one go this way. So boom, boom. Okay. Then maybe add some little greenery here behind that one. And then maybe a couple here. Just add some of this. Notice I'm starting to add a little bit of a more yellow green. Whenever I do my greens, I generally tend to add either a blue or a yellow to whatever pigment I started with the intent of just making it interesting looking. Okay, I think these guys are dry. I'm gonna come over with a heavier pigment to give it that poinsettia vibe. And I mean, really, poinsettias have more petals than this. Like, I probably could go back and add to this one another layer. Maybe I still will. Let's see how these go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I go over this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's okay. I'm not in love with it, but maybe put this little guys right here, just on those two. Okay, all right, I'm good with that. I can handle that. Okay, so maybe now the rest of this is gonna be more of this light yellow green. I maybe do these teeny tiny pointy little guys, teeny tiny pointy, and just have them pop around out here. Yeah. I'm really making this up as I go, guys. This is what being a artist without background and without the time to really study and analyze looks like. This is just practice and practice and practice until you make something you're happy with. It looks okay. I'm pretty good with that. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do here and here. I think I can still get away with this. It's kind of working. And if I don't like it, I can always go over it with something else darker. And I may even pop out branches that don't fit exactly on this guy. Okay, okay, I'm all right with this. Maybe a little bit in here. I always have a hard time filling in these wreaths with any sort of, I always worry I'm putting too much on here. See, now what I'm doing is I feel like I'm thickening this up, but in a good way. I kind of like it. Doesn't feel so thin. I'm liking that. So like over this way, I'm kind of going the opposite direction of where these initially came out. And then loosely painting around it. And it's kind of okay for me to go under. These are heavily pigmented, by the way. I'm not adding a ton of water to these small pieces. I could, it would go lighter, like it would be more of a lighter vibe, but right now I'm just sticking with this. Okay, I think I'm gonna, okay, so this is gonna seem weird for those of you who aren't super knowledgeable, but I'm gonna add like a dark purple indigo to the center of these leaves. The ones with the poinsettias. I think it's purple actually. No, I think it's indigo. I'm doing that to bring contrast so that it doesn't, I want you to know that that's an important part of this painting. I want you to, your eyes to be attracted to these before they're attracted to the outside. What I also might do is add some branches in here to see where everything's connecting, like kind of a shadow piece underneath. Like this just seems like a good idea. I like that. It just adds dimension, and some of it may already be there, but it's just giving the pop that I want it to have. I'm gonna add more there. And then the centers, don't mind the ducks. Actually gonna grab one of these uber bright yellows. I'm gonna paint in some of those common yellow centers. This is heavily pigmented. This is also super dry at this point, which is why I can get away with this. Because if it was not dry, these would bleed out and they'd be all mixed in with the red. And then what I might do is when I'm super duper done, I might come back and add some gold shimmer to some of these, or maybe some shimmer pen or something. Not sure what I'm doing. I kind of like that. Maybe a little bit of yellow. It's all experimenting, friends. Figure out what you like. And then just like that, I think I'm done. And there are my poinsettias in a wreath form. Thanks for following. Have a great day.